So you guys are Dead Heat from Oxnard in Southern California. Thanks for joining us today, dude.
Thank you.
Hope you all got a beer. If not, you need to go get a beer. You want some water, huh? You're straight-edge, huh? Whatever.
I'll take the beer.
So anyways, how did Dead Heat become a band? You guys been a band for a while now. So when did you guys start, and how did that happen?
2016?
Yeah, 2000, end of 15. Yeah. They came up with the idea. Me and Jaina, we were just talked about it. We were like, oh, we want to start like a New York hardcore meets like Bay Area thrash metal. So it was just me and him at first, and then we recruited a couple people that kind of like switched around, and then we just wrote for like a whole year pretty much. And then our first show, Jaina wasn't there, so our second show is technically our first show. But yeah, 2015, 16. Yeah, we'll switch like this. So, there we go.
That's the history.
That's cool. I mean, no, it's pretty cool to see a band come from Oxnard, just because, when I was a kid, fucking Nardcore was a big thing. There's so many bands coming out of Oxnard, and it seemed for quite a while that it just kind of...
The scene had died.
Yeah, it just kind of... I think the last time, before you guys became a band, I think we played a show there with you guys or something. But the last time I went to a show there was that Standing Fury that was in Oxnard.
Oh, yeah.
That shit sucked.
that shit was like 5 minutes away from my house.
No, it's crazy. Okay, it was my favorite lineup, but
the worst venue.
But the venue was just not having it.
Yeah, it was
dude.
trash.
It was, dude.
The security sucked there. Everything, like there was people getting in fights with everybody.
Is that place still there?
No,
they demolished it. Now it's a Family Dollar.
Yeah.
Damn, it's hard.
So rest in peace. That was with the Rodeo or whatever.
Rodeo Community Center.
Yeah, Rodeo Community Center.
Rest in peace. So I always ask this question, but it's I've seen you guys around for quite some time now. But how did you guys all personally get involved with punk, hardcore music? What's your guys' story?
Should I start? All right.
I was like 10 years old. I discovered Metallica when I was like 4, and then
you look
of my
like
dad.
it.
Yeah. And through Metallica, I got into like the Ramones, freaking Anti-Nowhere League, and all weird bands like that.
So what was your first introduction to hardcore?
To hardcore? Well, to me, I guess I was always into it.
Yeah.
Like without knowing, I guess.
You just
Black Flag is not a street punk band, it's like a hardcore band, American hardcore.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I guess this is like a richer punk.
Yeah. A richer punk?
A richer punk, like, all right, they're more
white man's punk.
Hey, it's like I came from like nothing, so
This is the white fool's punk?
yeah, because in South LA, all you get is backyard shows and fools that barely know English. You know? And
straight up.
it was me and my friends, and
Where'd you grow up?
South Central.
South Central.
I was only skinhead in South Central. And
South Central was straight up just backyard shows. Yeah. It was tight.
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever seen anything else until I got into hardcore, actually.
Yeah. I think the only venue I've ever played in East LA was, what's that spot? The Boulevard.
That was on Whittier Boulevard.
Yeah, that's the actual only venue.
The strip club.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that Gino used to book shows there? There's an actual strip club.
Yeah, there's a strip club. And then back in the day, there was a spot where we played with Union 13, and that shit was tight. Yeah, it's a Boyle Heights.
Yeah, I remember.
So that's cool. So true East LA punk. That's sick. How'd you get involved in hardcore and punk?
Probably like middle school. I got into a couple Christian hardcore bands.
I love it, dude. I'm all about it.
That's the same thing with me.
It was Christian hardcore punk, so it was like.
Well, true story. I didn't really like it, but it was the only way to let my moms go to shows. I was like, it's a show at church.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, so
I think I seen you at a Sleeping Giant show.
Yeah, so I sang on the record.
Yeah, but I remember middle school was like going to a couple shows, and I didn't know they were even like Christian bands. I just thought they were punk bands, and they were like mid-set praying and shit. I was like, oh. And then I started going to a bunch of backyard shows, like punk shows and shit, like street punk, like I don't know, Last Priority. You remember them?
Yeah.
Like those kind of bands. And then high school, I got introduced to basically basic hardcore. Like it was, I think my first band that I ever got into was like Miracle Mile.
That's sick.
And that was freshman year.
Beef.
Beef?
Oh, dude, we could.
That's what I remember. And then I remember getting into Champion. And
we could go with a whole 2-hour beef hour on that, right? I won't
I just
talk
remember
about
those are the first bands I got into, and I was like, all right. And then high school just changed from there.
Dude, that's sick. How do the rest of you guys get involved?
For me, it's kind of the same thing. With I grew up in like a really Christian household, so for some reason, like I was able to get away with listening to a lot of face down record bands, and then that introduced me to like a lot of straight edge bands like Death Star and all those, you know, every X something X.
Death Star.
Aye,
something
baby.
X. Yeah, so then that's when I found out about straight edge, and then like I traced it back to hardcore, and then I started getting into like all the Bridge 9 bands and listening to like Verse and Champion and Half Heart and stuff like
That's sick.
2007 or something. So that's pretty much around the time I actually got into like, I guess like that kind of hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks Face Down Records.
What about you guys?
For me in like middle school, I listened to like metal stuff like Children of Bodom and stuff.
That's
and
sick.
then, me and my middle school to high school friend would watch like Headbangers Ball, and then
I missed that. Like, just like, I remember late when I was at like elementary school, late at night, you put that shit on. It was like at midnight when they used to play all that shit, right?
midnight like
Headbangers
11
Ball?
or some shit. That's the version or
The Ricky Ragnar version. That,
The first version.
dude, that shit was tight.
Yeah. Well, I saw like Madball and like Gnostic Front and shit, and then in high school, my first hardcore show was actually with like Zabalba and Time for Change and like Final Burden.
Damn, where was this at?
Galindo's, the old Galindo's, like the small one. It was like mad small.
Galindo's.
Yeah. Yeah, the window place.
Like Marietta or some shit.
Yeah, Marietta, yeah. So like I grew up there for like high school, middle school. It shit sucked, but like
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Then from there on, I just kept going to shows, and then once I started driving, like went to like Anaheim and shit. So
Yeah,
I'm
you
back
got
home.
out. You got out the IE, huh?
I got out the shit.
You're a survivor, dude.
Yeah. But
I survived the IE.
For me, there were kids around my age, like when we were in junior high, like playing in punk bands. Like me and Chris would see backyard shows, like see bands like Last Priority. There's this band of kids called Rejected Society, and I remember they're like a grade older than me. And I thought it was like the sickest shit. It was like punk kids playing punk music, and that was like my exposure to punk and like in a live sense. And then I started going to shows like actively going to hardcore shows like in high school when the Loft was there. There was like a show there every weekend. The Loft was eventually became Alpine, where like all the Sound and Furious
Oh,
were.
dude.
That was our best venue.
And so there was like shows there every
Tony
weekend,
Hawk.
just like bring like 3 cans of food, you get like $3 entry or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like variety. It was like there's a punk band one day, then like some like metal stuff the next day, and like I don't know, that just kept me coming back. Like I just kept going to shows.
Yeah, dude. I think the 805, Santa Barbara, Ventura, Oxnard, it's had a pretty big history in punk and hardcore music. So it's pretty cool for you guys to come out and just fucking hit it hard and represent it. Go talk some shit. What's
No,
up?
I was just gonna say we were trying to bring it back for like the longest time, and like
It's back, right?
yeah, now there's
Dude.
finally bands playing, little like kids in their teenage making bands, and it's
Yeah,
like,
there's
we
like a
got-
group
we
from
got a scene coming up
Oxnard,
again.
and they're
Dude.
like all like 15, 16. They have a band called Civil Conflict, and it's just like straightforward, like Mystic Records style,
Ownership,
like punk,
That's-
skateboard, fucking party
They just know
music.
what they're doing, too.
Yeah, and then they'll play a show, right? And then they'll bring their whole fucking crew with them, and it's like 50, 60 people they bring.
Dude,
and
that's-
everyone's skating outside. Everyone, it just looks, and they all dress like from like if you're watching Decline of Western Civilization Part 1, like the intro, that's what it looks like at the show. They dress like that and everything, so it's like they like got that whole image, the crew, the sound, like, and they're killing it. Like it's pretty wild.
They,
Dude,
they,
go ahead.
They slam for the whole show for every band too.
Dude, that's
They're
beautiful.
fucking cool.
Yeah, they love
Any
it.
band that
There's-
comes,
yeah.
they usually slam. If they're playing, they'll bring the kids and they'll just.
The whole
Dude,
Circle
it's-
Pit literally like for a 30 minutes, like Static 13 said, just like
Yeah, it's so cool.
That's so cool to see that, because I think we were talking about it a couple episodes ago, where it's like a lot of the times you don't really see a young crowd at least in LA, you don't see a young crowd at shows anymore, So it's like these smaller towns and smaller pockets where you see 15, 16-year-olds still doing shows. So it's pretty cool to see that. It's amazing, actually. So I think from now on, kids come to shows for free, Because dude, I was like, I forgot.
It's such an incentive too.
You got it, because I'm like, what, what is it, like TikTok? And you watch all these like shit that kids like, and it's all mumble rap. Like I saw like what's that one rappers? I don't know. I work in venues, but you see these rap shows that are like, literally, it's just children and I think Suicide Boys, right?
Yeah.
I saw their show, and it's
right.
like, I was like, when I saw shows as a kid, it was all young. It was a young demographic, and I'm watching their show, and it's literally children going buck wild. And I was like, this is sick, but it's not a hardcore show.
Yeah.
It's not a punk show.
That's wild as shit.
But I was like, yo, like you got to come over here,
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's cool. It's
one step away. You're just like
yeah.
far off.
It's cool to see that you guys have that in Oxnard, or, the 805 area. So Dead Heats. Obviously we're in this pandemic where we're obviously can't play a show, so we're just sitting around drinking some beers and talking. Prior to this hitting, was there any plans for you guys to tour, to put out a record, to do anything?
We had literally I think a month or two right before that shit hit, we were going to go to like Japan and Southeast Asia. And they were down to come. They're like, yo, it's chill, like fuck it. And then like America just like fucked up, and now we're
We fucked up badass.
All badass.
It sucks, man. That's a bummer. Have you guys ever been to like Asia, Southeast Asia, Japan?
I've been back to China and shit. And that shit was sad as fuck.
Yeah.
But besides that, and I went to Vietnam, which was cool. But besides that, I've been wanting to go to Japan for the
dude,
longest time.
as a band, hopefully one day you guys get together. It is one of the most. It's a huge culture shock, but it's also one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life. Southeast Asia shows are just fucking buck. Yeah. Japan's sick. It's and it sucks to see at least in California we have so many bands younger bands like you guys. There's so many bands coming up that are fuck. We're doing good, about to play some shows and pop off, and this hits and it's kind of put everybody to a halt. During this time, are you guys writing a record? Did you guys plan to put out a record? What's going on there?
Yeah, we're writing a whole record right now, an LP. We're pretty much done
now. Yeah.
Who's putting it out?
Triple B.
Sick, Triple B. That's sick.
Shout out. But yeah, we're pretty much done. We're gonna be recording next month.
Where at?
With Taylor Young.
Sick.
So that's gonna be tight. Fuck. What else we got? Oh, we're putting out, or we just put out a song on the Nardcore compilation, which will be coming out on September 4th digitally, so everybody can listen, see what Nardcore is like too.
Yeah, awesome. So I mean, other than that, obviously music's got to halt. How's it for you guys, personally, on a personal level? How is this experience for you guys as far as is your work life fucked? Has things changed for you? Is it kind of depressing? Are you guys enjoying it? How's COVID affected your life personally?
All right, well,
But on the line.
well, I used to work at Merch Now, so all this shit, because we printed all band merch for tours, so that was completely done. We've been out of work since whatever, so we're not printing shit. So I'm writing the fun employment thing until it's done.
The what?
The fun employment.
The fun employment.
It ain't fun no more, but yeah.
How's it for the rest of you guys?
For me, it's depressing because it literally hasn't stopped. I work at the grocery store Vaughn's, but the good thing about my position is that I do the liquor and wine section, so I don't hang out around people when I go into work at 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And so I'm by myself, and then there's a whole mass thing, so I'm not around people, but it just sucks because it just never stopped ever since it started.
It kind of probably picked up for you, right?
Yeah, it just got busier, so I'm working 40-hour weeks and stuff, and then we have all those people that just come in and then they don't want to be we have the Karens and the Kens that come in and just want to be assholes about it, and if we just come on, just put a mask on, respect the employees, respect people around you, and then just ooh,
it's crazy to watch that shit, because I mean, Aldo was here last week, or a couple weeks ago, we were talking about, I was to me, the idea of working at a market right now sounds stressful, just because one, there's different views, different approaches to how to deal with this, and it's also a time where people are just being fucking either complete, just being assholes or inappropriate, and you're seeing all these this trend of people going to the stores or wherever and they don't want to wear a mask, and I'm like, you fat piece of shit, how hard is it to wear a mask for 10 seconds? Not even and it's it's bringing out the worst in people. So to me, I commend you because, like, dude, the idea of working at a store with people, I can't deal with people right now. Fuck that.
I know. Like, I was gonna tell some guy the other day, yesterday, like just to like just put a mask on, and then he had a hoodie, and I'm right off the avenue in Ventura, which is like next to like Ojai and Oakview, and there's a lot of like racist people from Oakview and Ojai, and like skins and stuff, and. I was gonna ask him to put a mask on, and I saw his sleeve, and it said like West Side, but with the SS bolt, and I was like, I'm good. Like I don't even want to start, because if I get in an argument, like I can get in trouble, even though like I'm trying to like help out employees and customers and stuff. So it was a really awkward situation. So I'm just like, you know what, like they're not paying me extra to like deal with this shit. So
yeah,
and I don't get paid extra. I get paid the same thing.
It's weird because when I was younger, Oxnard and like Ventura were like notoriously known to have like white power gangs. And it's,
yeah, Hell's Angels
still
started
around?
there.
It's still around. Yeah.
It's still around.
Jeez.
But yeah, so it's pretty wild out there sometimes, especially in that area. Yeah.
Yogi, how you doing with COVID? What you been doing?
Been going to church, man. Praying for y'all.
Yeah, you need to go to church.
No, I've been just
You need Jesus.
having. Man, I'm glad I do have him. But
What have you been doing?
just raising my kid. I have a kid.
Congratulations.
Anuki and
How old is your kid now?
2.
Damn, 2.
Big already, smarter than me.
Just running circles and shit. Right? Is he walking yet?
Yeah, she's walking. She started walking when she was
She's
like
walking.
9 months.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and she's already trying to jam too. She's like, she want to start a band with Nate. I was like, nah.
Let's do it, fool. She's probably better than you.
she already, yeah. I'll send you pics later, dude. It's cute. But now, yeah, it's been hard, but you know, I'm getting through with my lady and my kid, and that's about it. Been playing a lot of drums. Just joined these fools.
Yeah, so you're the newest member of Dead Heat.
Yeah.
How's that like?
It's been sick, you know, because
I mean, you fit right in.
I'm glad I do, because I've just, like I said, I've been punk, skinhead punk, and slow music, and this is like, you know, fast. Like it's not even punk.
Yeah,
It's not punk to me no more. So it's like
rocker
now
shit.
I got to develop this new technique, I guess. But I got Jaina right here, you know, the best drummer in the world, teaching me. But nah, we've been jamming too. Like, you know, thanks to Jaina, because he hit me up to jam in this band, and I was like, heck yeah, why not?
That's awesome.
So yeah, been good.
It's been all right with like COVID. Like I think like last month it hit me. I'm just like, fuck, this shit ain't going anywhere. You know?
Yo, for
Like,
real.
for
I was sitting there. I was like, oh yeah, like maybe like fall time we'll be able to do some shows and tour. And then I'm like, it kind of clicked. I'm like, I'm fucking high. Like that shit is not happening, you know?
Yeah, it
But
sucks.
you know, I think some days, for me personally, it's just because I work in music.
Yeah.
It's kind of like stressful and depressing because I'm like, well, fuck, I gotta figure something out. But for you, you know, you play so much music in so many different bands. Like,
Yeah.
how are you
It's
dealing
just
with
like,
it?
I think I was talking to Ald about it a couple days ago because we're in another band with him called Cement that we're trying to start. But it's just like, for me, like live shows, like it bums me out, but I just try to forget about it. So I just do as many like projects as I can.
Yeah.
So like any type of music I want to play, like I'll just write it and just,
Yeah.
you know.
That's awesome. I mean, that's good. At least staying productive and, you know, writing music, playing music, and doing your thing. You know.
Yeah.
How's it for you down there?
Like Anthony, I work in the grocery store too, so I'm still working, essential worker, and like it's been how you think it is. You know, people are just as rude as they possibly can be
Yeah,
for no goddamn
exactly.
reason. Yeah, like, you know, I feel like people are coming in just to, you know, for the altercation. You know, like coming in just so they can get a rise out of someone else, like to make their point.
Yeah.
That they don't believe in wearing masks or whatever. So a lot of it is just, you know, like making sure that, you know, people I work with don't punch someone, you know,
Dude,
doing that. But like other than that, like I shouldn't miss live music. Like I've been going to shows and playing music with my friends for like over half my life now, you know. I'm turning 30 and I've been doing this since I was a teenager, you know, and like I shouldn't miss it. And,
Dude,
like,
yeah,
and I can't wait for it to come back whenever that happens.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that, like, you know, like, since, you know, so I've been going to shows and booking shows since I was in high school, and the longest consistent thing in my life has always been music.
Yeah.
It's always been playing shows, playing in a band, doing something involved with music. It's probably ruined my life, but for the most part, I'm always grateful for it. But yeah, it's like, it's crazy to watch our small, it's our small subculture to kind of just put on pause and disappear. And since we started doing these live streams, I'm watching, like, I started watching other people's live streams, what other people do, and it's all like DJs and like stuff completely unrelated to our world. So to me, it's pretty cool that people tune in and watch what bands are doing and see what you guys are doing, because no one's giving us a platform unless we do it. So it's cool to see that. Other than that, the world seems to be fucked.
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
No, actually, I'm not gonna say the world. The USA seems to be fucked. Every day, something's said, something's done. Nothing fucking shocks me at this point.
Yeah.
To be fair,
It's to that point.
but we're getting to this point where we're coming to an election. Black Lives Matter movement is picking up, but it almost seems like it's been turned into almost like a political stance. When I tell people, I'm like, no, it's simply about right and wrong.
Exactly.
And it's crazy how it's been pushed away from what it really matters. And politics have taken over what should be a human rights.
Exactly.
In California, we're lucky enough to live in a melting pot where we see every walk of life, and it's crazy that even in California we have to deal with racism. Parts in the South, I imagine it's prominent, it's very obvious, but here in California we still see it, we still have to deal with it. But for you guys, since the past few months, how has it been for you guys, or how are you taking this whole movement in? Is there anything that you guys have done personally to participate or be productive, or even educate people, be like, hey man, you're a fucking dumbass, like that's not okay, or whatever it may be? How's it been this last couple months for you guys?
Go first. We can go down the line.
I mean, basically, I've been to a couple protests, not as much as other people, but like, I feel like the same thing. Like, it's not a movement where it just has to be black and white. It's human rights. So everybody, like, a lot of people don't see that, and it's crazy to think like, oh, they think Black Lives Matter is like it's all about black power or something. It's not that. It's that they have rights too.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to think, like, I even have family that's like, oh, Black Lives Matter is doing all this shit. I'm like, no, it's not. It's like.
So someone told me, it's like, oh, they're trying to turn it to a communist country, and
Antifa. It's like
Antifa that.
It pushes people away, and they're like, they don't really know the meaning of what is going on.
Yeah.
They just kind of see the phrase, and they're like, oh, well, they're looting and all this stuff. And like, none of that's going on. It's like, obviously, like, but
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, exactly. Like,
it's gotten to a point where it's just like, police have gone too far.
Yeah,
And
the crazy thing is too, through all this, like, they're still doing the same shit, like still killing black people left and right, even and then like the All Lives Matter people that are like, there's white people dying too, and that's, I think it's like a joke that they're like, well, white people are dying by cops too, and it's like, well, how come you're not doing anything about it? Like, just because it's equal that the people are dying, but it's like,
no, it's not.
It's not. That's not even right. Like, even guilty people shouldn't be shot. Like, that's not police's job.
Yeah. How's it been for the rest of you guys?
Oh, well, I've been. I didn't really say, but I've been going to local protests and stuff too in Ventura, and we did one on 4th of July, and it was pretty crazy, man. Like, Ventura's been getting like really gentrified, even though like Ventura was, especially down there on the West End by the beach downtown, like where the saloon and tavern are and stuff, like where Sound and Fury is going to be around this year.
Shout out Slow Bleed.
Yeah, shout out Slow Bleed, shout out John and the boys. But yeah, so it's been getting really gentrified, like it really bad, and people are like, oh, like it's there's no like nothing wrong going on here. We're like, Ventura's not racist, but then like when we did that protest on 4th of July, like, oh my god, like so much shit happened.
True Colors show.
A certain bike gang literally rode through our protests when there was little kids and stuff. It's like, and families marching with us, and police didn't do anything about it, and they just let it happen because it happened multiple times. People riding by in their like pickup trucks, like super, like just being that dick that they always are. Even like when they're just driving, they're just
it's like sad that people are trying to take away from like a positive movement. Like, what What are you trying to prove?
Yeah, it's just been like super fucked up down there, and like I'm glad that like the local community is coming together and trying to like open up more eyes and stuff now in Ventura. But I mean, we're trying to change it down there at least. Do what we can locally. But yeah, I've been to LA a couple times too, and this shit's gnarly, man. But it needs to happen. Change needs to, it needs to change. But the media is just twisting everything around and fucking it up for everyone, making everyone seem like they're like a terrorist organization and Antifa or whatever. Like it's just stupid shit, and it's just it's like you said, it's pulling away from the meaning of Black Lives Matter. It's not political in any way. It's just human rights, and people need to be held accountable for their actions, and it's not really happening. Like all this protest and like certain cops in certain scenarios are still not being arrested and charged. Like it's just like it's just the way it's always been. They've always just covered them up. Same thing locally. Like a family friend got ran over by a tow truck, and he was killed. He was like 15 years old. And the tow truck company was friends with the police department, and the police got away. The police let the guy get away. Really, like he only served a couple days in jail.
It's bullshit.
And because he would tow cars for the police. Yeah. And he ran. I just want to say this real quick for Jonathan Hernandez. He ran him over that night, and I'm pretty sure he was on drugs or he was drunk because he went back to his tow company, his location, and he sprayed down the car and washed off all the blood. And he went to the police station the next day and walked in and was like, "Hey, I did a hit and run. I didn't feel him at the time."
Yeah.
I guess he must have heard the next day that Jonathan was ran over and left in the street to die. But yeah, so he washed off all the blood and everything, and pretty much at the end of the day, he didn't even get arrested on the spot. But if you were to go in there and if I were to do a hit and run and
immediately drive
into a cop car, the next day go in there and be like, "Hey, I did a hit and run your car," I'd be arrested right away.
Yeah, you'd be serving time.
Yeah, it's a fucked up situation, and
but it's crazy. The scary part is that's common.
Yeah, it is common, and it shouldn't be common. And
it's like the police cannot be policing themselves, and that's
exactly.
And that's the whole problem.
The police are the biggest gang in the world.
Oh, by far.
And
I said this last week, and I was like, dude, I've always felt weird saying the phrase all cops are bastards, fuck cops. I always feel people are naturally want to be good and want to be better, but also guilty by association. And it's one of those things that you ask me now, it's like, yeah, fuck them all.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, you have one bad apple, yeah, fuck them all until they could hold the rest. They could hold their friend, their team, their police department, their partners accountable. You're equally.
Yeah,
you're equally just as bad.
I can't remember what comedian it was. It was from he was from Chappelle's show or something, and he was like, if I go to the grocery store and I see a bag of apples and there's one rotten apple, I'm not gonna buy that bag. I'm gonna get another one.
Fuck that bag.
So fuck the whole bag. Yeah, so that's. I mean, that just goes towards the police. So, Yogi, your turn.
Yeah, man. I guess it's pretty sad what's going on. I really haven't been doing anything for it. Not because I don't want to. It's just my pockets ain't heavy, and got in trouble with the law, so I gotta respect the law.
Yeah.
So
no, I mean it's not that necessarily. It's also as
it's been hard. It's hard. Seeing all these things, it's sickening. It makes you sad.
Yeah.
Makes you feel like this is the world I live in. These are the people that I'm around.
Yeah, it's scary.
And there's kids getting taken away, and it's now I have a little girl and I got to think about these stuff. Like someone could take away my kid, or someone could come and just kill my lady because she's freaking half black, half Hispanic.
Yeah.
So it's it's scary for me, but all I could do is pray, man. That's it.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's scary is that you're watching the world around you, and I always tell people, I always ask this question because how are you being involved? And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go march or donate, because unfortunately for some people during these times we don't have that possibility. And a lot of Latinos, mostly during these times, where there's this fear of the approach with the law and approach with the possibility of ICE, that you're in the back hiding because you fear something may go wrong. I recently watched that Netflix special. Was that Immigration Nation? Dude, oh my God. I literally sat through it in like a couple days, and I was just like, just fucking heated. And it's something that should have been basic human rights is clouded by people's ideas of politics, and these fucking Republican, white fools that just think like, oh no, these are all bad people. Like, dude, come on,
Turn the
man.
blind eye.
That shit fucking crushed me, But again, this is not, this is a time to not necessarily, you don't have to march or donate, but it's also time to understand it, educate yourself, educate the people around you, your loved ones, and also, most importantly, watch out for the people around you, because, my grandma calls me and she's like, Mijo, don't go march, they're going to shoot you. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I'm fine, but as, your
You're the biggest one.
Yeah, they have this fucking fear, and I get it, it is a time, it's that time where you're like, fuck, shit might pop off. How's it been for you guys down there?
So at the beginning, I've been going for like 3 months now. I stopped because I went back to work.
Yeah.
But I went to like Orange County ones, but those kind of suck because just like the direction, they don't have like a leader or like someone to like push. They have like a group out there and they're dope, but like when it comes like to some of the rallies, like it's just like, oh, I want to be this guy, and like lead the march, and it just like gets all fucking disoriented. So I've been going with like a couple of my homies, like my friend Carlos, Alex, Jessica, and my friend Chanch to like LA because they're all from there. And I feel like all the other counties like look at LA,
Yeah.
And like see what they're doing and like understand that. And I feel like if like I've been going to most of my marches over there, and like there's a lot of change with like Jackie Lacey. She's like fucking shit up, just like not doing shit. Garcetti fucking sucks. He just doesn't understand shit. But it's just like what you were saying earlier. It's just like people act like they understand what's going on. Like, oh yeah, like this is fucked up. But then like they don't do. They really don't care. Like it just it's like a lot of performative shit. That's just annoying.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, like you said, a lot of the marches seem kind of disorganized. And again, like it's good if people are showing up, but also gotta take it one step further and do what you can. It's funny that you mentioned Orange County because I was like, oh, dude, I want to like go to Huntington Beach, fucking marches.
Got real deep.
but it's funny because like going there, it's fucked up because in my head I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna go there and fight fools.
Yeah, bro. Like,
but like which is as much as in my head I'm like, oh yeah, that's okay. Unfortunately, it's not okay to do that. I think this is the time to like,
yeah.
Like as corny as it sounds,
it's
what I want to do. But as corny as it sounds, it's the time to like promote peace and like understanding.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because what is me going down there just to be confrontational? Because in my head, I'm like, yeah, fuck these fools. I'm gonna show up. But I know in my head, I'm just trying to be confrontational. Which I guess
everybody's trying to get their anger out.
Yeah, exactly.
People that hate human rights.
So I guess I shouldn't do that. I don't know. We'll see. How's it been for you?
For me, I've been trying to be like as present as I possibly can locally with marches that happen in my area, getting away from work to do so. But a lot of me right now is just learning, trying to educate myself, learning from the perspective of people who actually go through the shit, trying to unlearn certain bad habits, like saying shit that can be offensive or whatnot, because I'm not even gonna try front, like I probably said some dumb shit when I was younger, and probably I
still say dumb shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all right.
But that kind of thing where you realize that your words carry weight, and you should probably change because it affects other people. Just trying to unlearn that as an adult because I spent so long being like a piece of shit, and probably still am, But doing that, there's actually a group I want to shout out from Oxnard called OxRev. They're Oxnard Revolutionary Study. They're like a group of punks that are doing the work, They're out on the streets. They're educating people. They're helping educate me. I'm trying to be there and learn as much as possible from them. I just want to shout them out. So
that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, man, it's crazy you mentioned that because me and Martine talked about it some episodes back ago. We were fortunate to live in growing up in LA. You see every walk of life. You see every ethnicity. and we would just say words, and for us it was just slang.
Yeah, no,
You know, it's just fucking slang. What's up, bitch? You know, I didn't mean it in like in a bad way, or like, you know. And now that I'm older, you know, you understand that those words do carry weight, and I from now on time, you know, it happens, but I still try to understand that these words do affect people in a negative way, and you know, that's me being negligent and being naive. Is how does someone take this? So it's cool that you're doing that during these times, because you know sometimes that shit doesn't click. You know, you still be talking dumb when you're fucking 40 years old. You know, and you see it still. You see it in the hood. Fucking, you know, old cholos just talking bullshit. Like, what are you saying, man? Shut the fuck up.
I feel like we all try to promote like this good shit that's happening, but we all also have to learn like what's wrong with our own things that we we don't really think about. We're like, oh shit, well we've said some shit before. It's like
growing up in like you know, like in the Avenue for me, like I grew up. My dad used to be an old like gang member from the Avenue and stuff. And you know, I have cousins that were in gangs and whatnot. So growing up there, like, you know, it was kind of like the Wild West. You know, you say a lot of stupid shit, and then you don't realize until you're older, and then you have someone that, you know, hey, like, you don't say that, or like you can't say that. And you know, some people do need that, even when they're older. Like I'm 26, and you know, and it's just everything's got to be like, I can't really describe it, but yeah, like just trying to correct yourself in everything you do in life. But I feel like you said, like old cholos say stupid shit like that all the time, and I gotta tell my cousin sometimes.
Talk
like,
about
hey,
your
man,
neck, man.
Yeah, I'm like, hey fool, like you can't be saying that, like, you know, every you know, whether they want it or not, sometimes you gotta be that person to tell them, hey, can't say this because of that, or just don't say that because it's not right.
Yeah, it took me until I moved to here, Long Beach, because I grew up from, you know, I went from Mexico to the IE to Pomona, and just you know, hood neighborhoods, you know, it was just like, you know, communities where it just talked all kinds of bullshit. To here, I moved here to Long Beach, and there's a huge gay community, and you know, when I was a kid, you know, just like I would say the word faggot freely. Not with like ill intent, but just like, oh, it
it's like saying dumb or something.
Yeah, it's just slang,
not right, but
slang
I mean,
with, you know, around dudes. Until I moved here and realized that there's this huge community that I cannot be saying that. That's completely offensive and rude and cruel for me to be okay to say that. And until I moved here, you know, having a friend group of a gay community that I was just like having to explain to me, like, yo, man, you can't say that shit. I'm like, oh, yeah. Well, I was fucking dumb. But, you know, it's cool that during this whole scenario, this whole COVID scenario, and, you know, what seems to feel like the world's ending, that you guys are taking something out of it and learning and growing, you know, whatever that may be. You know, changing it up, when we do get to play a show again, what's going to be the first Dead Heat show? Who are you guys playing with?
Shit.
We're going to Japan. Fuck it.
You got a couple minutes. I got to take a sip. Think about it.
Oh, there you go.
We need more beer.
Well, hopefully, first show is a record release. Like, you know. So
Say shout out to Regulate.
No, shout out to Regulate.
Shout out to Regulate.
We'll get to the shout outs. What's the first show? Who's playing?
Fuck.
Us.
HG Army.
we're playing the show.
Obviously.
That's a
Shit.
I don't know, man. Like
It's got to be an Oxnard. Your first show back's got to be an Oxnard.
we love playing.
Gotta get the locals there.
Gotta get Civil Conflict on there. Fuck, who else am I get?
Put some old shit on there, dude.
I heard Annihilation Time was gonna do a Ventura show.
That'd be sick.
But yeah, that's what I heard. You know, from some of the local peeps.
I don't believe it. That's bullshit.
That's what I heard. No, actually, no, it wasn't like Nash. It was Lecher's Gaze. My bad. Graham's other band.
One band we'd get on it. Retaliate. Retaliate is the best.
It's the best.
Hell yeah.
And I wish we can get In Control. Like I said, the band Civil Conflict. They had.
I heard there was, rumor or not, I heard there was supposed to play this year.
I mean, they made up a song.
Yeah, they did do a song for that comp.
Let it out, yeah or no? I'm gonna say I heard they were supposed to play a show this year at some festival in Ventura.
If that would have happened, like it would have been crazy chaos. Yeah, because even Civil Conflict, that band I was telling you guys about, they did like pretty much like a cover set. Jesus, with Ryan from In Control singing, and they just did like 7 songs, 8 songs, and it was like it was fucking insane. It was insane, and like Ryan like even busted his head open, like he started bleeding from his head, which like he's kind of always done. Like that's his thing, you know, make his head bleed. But he did that shit on accident. Like he like jumped out the crowd. I think he like jumped into the crowd. Then he like
the corner of the stage.
Yeah, he hit the corner of the stage, and he was bleeding, but he kept the show going. And he's like an older guy, and you know he wants to do it. It just needs to happen. So I mean,
I hope so.
Hopefully next time.
Anybody you guys would add to the show?
Violation. Try to get them.
Violation. That'd be sick.
His other band, Omega Point.
Yep.
Omega Point.
Shout out Omega Point. Yo, who are you gonna get on there?
Grave School.
Dude, I love Grave School, dude. Dude, it's probably one of my favorite bands. She sounds like the girl from the Cranberries. What's her name? Dolores. Shout out Grave School. All right. Well, anyways, bucket list. So what's something on the bucket list that you guys want to do as an individual, not as a band, as an individual? What's a bucket list item? It's always interesting to see.
First.
What, me?
Like in life or just?
In life.
Jana go first.
What's a bucket list? Something you want to do before you die?
Before I die.
By the looks of it, we might die soon, you know?
I want to see Metallica live. That's it.
Yeah.
I've never seen them. I had an opportunity, but instead I chose the Casualties.
You fucked up. Hey,
I still would want to.
Kurt Metallica, I was like, dude, I don't want to see this bullshit. But the production is
if I was watching it, like really close, yeah, I'd be down. But like far away, I had a chance to go to the Henry Fonda when they played there. But
why didn't you go?
Let me tell you guys, man. My lady was gonna buy us tickets, and I said no because I didn't want her buying me stuff. But I wanted to say yes, but I messed up.
Bucket list thing for me would probably be, see Faith No More with Mike Patton. I've never got to see Faith No More. I saw Faith No More with Chuck Mosley. They did like a couple albums.
Great band live. Dude.
Yeah,
it's fucking incredible.
I went by myself and I went to the Troubadour with Chuck Mosley singing. I guess Mike Patton was there, and I wish I would have met him. I wish I would have met Chuck Mosley too, because he was right next to me. Taking pictures with fans or whatever, and since I was by myself, I didn't have that person kind of hey, do it.
Yeah.
And then a year later, he passed away, so it sucked. But yeah, like a bucket list band. I can't really think about a bucket list thing to do in my life, but I love Faith No More a lot, so I mean that'd be cool to see them.
What about you, Chris?
Shit. You know what? Part of my bucket list was gonna be going to fucking Japan, because I've been wanting to go to Japan since I was young.
It's fucking incredible.
And we were going to do it, and I was like, fuck yeah, I don't even have to do anything. I don't have to put anything in perspective, to place. It's already done. We're going. I get to enjoy this shit. And
it's dangerous too, dude.
Well, that's what I've heard too.
Well, it's dangerous because
it's so fun.
It's so fun. They're so hospitable, and your literally only job is to get on stage and get in the fucking van. Yeah. So the times we've been there, we just drinking the whole fucking time, doing bad shit. So it's fun and dangerous, but that's cool. Japan, dude.
I mean, that's one, and then another one. I wanted to travel for a month witut car shit. I just want to backpack or something.
Around where? Honestly,
I just wanted to go to a place where it's more naturist. And I was trying to think of that. I'm like, oh, should I go to a different country and try to do this? But I'm I'm scared of that.
Where would you go? Just do it in the States?
Costa Rica.
Dude, Costa Rica is, oh my God, it's beautiful.
That's one of those things I was thinking of.
You guys should play Costa Rica.
If we ever got an opportunity to.
I'll make it. Dude, we're locals there. Dude.
I want to go to Brazil. Ja.
Brazil's whatever.
What's Brazil? What are you doing?
Well, I want to go there too. That's what I'm saying. It's close, right?
Hey, we fucked up once.
Close, right?
We toured from Mexico all the way to Central America. It was fucking insane. That was the most insane shit I've ever done in my life.
I want to do that.
Yo, so you would backpack for a month in Costa Rica,
or do something like that. I've always wanted to do something where I'm on my own for a month or something, and then just get back on the grid.
That's cool. Dude, that's crazy because I've actually thought about it. I've done it. I've traveled and toured for the past decade, and I've literally been gone for 9 months out of the year. But I've never done that. They're just I'm gonna go here for a fucking month and figure it out. That's actually a bucket list shit for me too. So that's pretty cool. What about you, Janet?
Two things come to my mind right now. Probably play Russia, because that seems crazy as fuck. Just playing Russia. It's scary as fuck too. So wow.
Shabala got banned from Russia, so
You guys did?
yeah.
That's fuck. But that and then just build my own guitar because I keep buying shit. So
Just keep buying guitar shit.
yeah,
that's
I'll build my own because I keep buying shit.
that's your bucket list to build your
Yeah.
own guitar.
Yeah, build my own just because
Yeah, Jana, how many guitars do you have?
7.
How many
That's too
amps you
many.
got? How
You
many
only
amps you
play
got?
with one
How many
hand.
amps I have? I got 1. And
You got 7 guitars and 1 amp.
What are they tuned to?
damn, next question.
How many amps do you got?
Bucket list shit for me. My music one is to play music in the Philippines. Like I'd love to go
Dude,
play in the Philippines. Like I haven't been since I was like 4, and like
it's incredible.
I would love to just go home and just play there. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
It'd be something cool to tell my parents, see my family that I'd never see.
Is your family from there, or did you grow up
my-
there? Or?
No, I didn't grow up there. I'm first generation here, but my mom and pops are from Manila.
That's awesome.
And they haven't been home. Like my mom's been in the States longer than she was alive in the Philippines, which is crazy to think about. And I'd love to go and play music over there and see family. So that's one thing. Second thing is I'd love to sit courtside at a Lakers game. Like that's like some real bucket list shit that might be achievable if I somehow win the lottery or something, which is not achievable, but yeah.
I mean, it sounds like at some point you guys are going to go to Southeast Asia, and dude, the Philippines is incredible to play.
Yo, when I saw the routing and I saw Southeast Asia and they asked me to go, I was like, the first thing I was like, yo, is it going to the Philippines? And then it wasn't on there. I was like, ah.
Dude, just add it on there.
Yeah, just tack it on. Yeah.
Who booked you guys' tour out there? Was it Big Mouth?
Brightside? Or no, out there? It was
the
Uncouth or something.
Uncouth, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
no.
just add it in there. It's fun.
Taking that
It's
business
beautiful.
shit. Yeah.
It's what we the last time we went to Southeast Asia, we got to play the Philippines, Manila, and it was one of those things that like we showed up and there's like no one there. There's like combo amps and we're like, fuck it, whatever. Let's get to it. Let's get drunk. By the time we played, it was the most packed, incredible show I've ever played in Southeast Asia.
Right.
And it was so humbling to play there because, you know, we made friends with the locals there and understanding how much it costs to get us there and what, you know, just the difference of cultures and cost of living, it's fucking surreal, you know? And it was good to the point by the end of the night we're just like, fuck it, take the t-shirts. We're just giving the shirts away. And what's the little egg and
Balut. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Did you do it?
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
So we're like, I'm in the Philippines, I gotta eat this shit. Little baby bird. And cracked it open. Dude, as soon as I got like the juice in my mouth, I just threw up, dude. But it was crazy because I have friends in the Philippines. They're like, dude, this is delicious. Just chugging them, dude.
Just shoot it back.
Have you had it before?
I have not.
I have.
You have?
Yeah. When I was at like 12 or 13,
And you-
I had it at my friend's house.
Did you eat the whole thing?
I just swallowed it and I was like, it tasted kind of weird. I was like,
I think if I swallowed it, I probably would have been able to do it.
kind of, and I was like, how is it like this? Like,
It's got feathers.
yeah, it's got feathers. It's a whole chicken, a little chicken.
Yo, Chris just snatched my Filipino card from me. That was crazy.
I'm sorry.
No, he's more Pinoy than I am. That's dope.
He snatched that shit real quick. Yeah,
I
dude.
didn't even mean to have it, bro.
Well, when you guys go there, definitely go to the Philippines. It's one of the most. I mean, Southeast Asia in general is just one of the coolest places to go to. And what's cool is that I hope that once we're able to tour, if we're able to tour, is that people are just gonna be eager and dude, Dead Heat needs to fucking go there. So we're gonna wrap this up. So we started doing this shout out, but also the little beef hour. So this is your moment to shout somebody out or talk some shit. We'll start it off.
Up the mic for shit. Who we talking shit about?
Yo, fuck Dry Majesty, bro.
Yo.
For real.
Fuck, let me repeat that. Fuck Drab Majesty. Why Drab Majesty?
Well, they did some like crazy ass tweets, and I was just like, it was like a dog joke, and I was like, damn, that's like an outplayed joke. Like, come on, do something funny. Yeah, I'm just.
What they say?
They're like, what was it? It's fucking something like, I wonder if in China they have a magazine called Puppies Digest or some shit. I was
Oh,
like,
man.
when I saw it, I wasn't like pissed. I was like, damn, that's fucking. That's not even funny. Like,
Yeah, that's not even funny.
Yeah, that's not even
Like
funny.
if it was funny, I'd laugh, but it's not.
Yeah, and then they
He might have been drunk. 'Cause it was like
He's all sorry.
yeah,
for
he's
the
all
food
like, sorry for the dumb jokes. And I'm just like, you're fucking lame, dude. Fuck your band.
Yeah, so fuck them.
Fuck Drab.
Any shout outs to anybody?
Yo, shout out to Benji and Heavy D back home.
Fuck him.
Oh wait, what was that? So we got some beef.
Beef, fuck him. No, just I love him.
I love him.
Shout out Omega Point.
Yeah.
Hey, he's sitting right there, bro.
He's right there, chill.
Tell him.
Sorry, I didn't know it was gonna crack.
I want the world to know, you know?
Shout out Nardcore.
Nardcore, yeah, hell yeah.
Shouts out everyone from Brazil. Shouts out Burst.
Shot.
Yeah.
Shout-
Shouts out everyone in Japan, Cruelty, and everyone out there.
Perfect.
Shout out to all the gamers.
Shouts out, yeah.
To all the gamers,
Yeah, to all the gamers.
I need
Josh, bald Josh over here. He's a real gamer.
Yogi, any shout outs or fuck yous?
You got beat. He's
I beef the devil, and shout out to my family and all my homies. I love y'all. HG Army.
Anyways, shout out to Dead Heat. Thanks for joining us. They're gonna write a record, is that correct?
That's correct.
They're gonna write a record.
Do we
coming
have a
out-
name?
coming
No,
out
you haven't
Triple
given
B?
us a name yet.
It's called Untitled for now
Untitled for now. That's so unique.
and forever.
So, anyways, thank you guys for joining us and hanging out. Again, we're doing these live stream Q&As simply because we can't play a show, so we figured hang out. But as you know, SOS does this yearly for the children toy drive, and unfortunately, without live shows, it's really hard to collect donations, collect monetary value. If you're not doing anything, if you want to, please donate via PayPal to the SOSbooking@gmail.com. We're collecting donations, and at some point, hopefully, we can open up supply and demand here in Long Beach and start doing some shows here. But yo, shout out Dead Heat. You guys are fucking sick. Shout out to your new member Yogi. What's up, fool?
Oh yeah,
Yogi and Vince, bro.
Vince,
Vince is the
And
new,
Vince,
Vince
yeah.
is the second newest member. A week after we got Yogi.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I mean, he's from the 805. So
Hey, rest in peace,
I
Brandon.
was in the band, you know.
Yeah, he's filled in a couple times before.
Yeah, I'm just I'm assumptioning, you know. So thank you guys for joining us today. Yo, stay tuned. Dead Heat's gonna spin some records, and let's see what they listen to.
I hope you like my choices.
I'm kind of intrigued.
I hope you don't like me.
I'm stoked. Anyways, peace.